CNC have travelled to Wolverhampton to Parker Precision, and I'm joined by Matt Devlin. Now, Matt, it's been a real education here today discussing the products that you have introduced to this great company. Now, can you kind of give me some kind of indication of when you started introducing your products and why they changed?
So effectively, the guys here run a cracking business, and they need to be competitive on the global market. So when we came in and tried to talk to them about coolant, they had a supplier, they were happy. We had to prove our worth, and to do that, we had to show them that although our barrel wasn't the cheapest on the market, they would use less oil, they'd improve their tool life, they'd reduce cycle time. We've managed to get a very long sump life, and indication is that the coolant's going to last significantly longer than their previous, which means they're going to have reduced downtime, reduced waste production, and that overall it's better for the environment.
Now, I believe, visiting some of the companies that I visited, that coolant can really be overlooked, but it's something for the smallest investment can give you the best return of investment. So, let's start with tool life. How does your coolant give your clients more tool life?
So basically, we go to visit customers, and some of them refer to coolant as the white water, slurry. They've got all sorts of nicknames, but it's a necessary evil. The reality of it is they will spend typically 10 times more on tooling than they will on coolant. Effectively, if we can make a 10%, 15% improvement on their tool life, the coolant's effectively free.
And what about the longevity of your coolant? You're trying to make your coolant, let me rephrase that, you're trying to make your coolant last as long as possible. So what about the longevity of the coolant? But as a result also the longevity of the machine tool and keeping everything clean and the surface finish, etc. of the components, the quality of the components effectively.
So when we come into a new customer and we look at their process, we look at their materials, and we analyse their water type, we'll get our engineers to come in and clean the machines because we want to give the coolant the best possible starting point. The operator then spends less and less time looking after the coolant and leaves it down to our team. We know roughly where we're going to be on consumption, and we fine-tune it to get it to what suits that business in that area with that water type and those processes. You have to work cohesively with your customer. One size does not fit all. Once we've got the coolant in the machine, we look after it, we make sure that there's best practice in the business, we provide training to make sure that customer's doing the right thing, and effectively, we don't throw away good coolant. We analyse the coolant for minerals, we make sure that the coolant life is healthy, and when the time is right, we'll try and seamlessly move a system clean out to a point in time where the customer's doing a preventative maintenance or an annual service. It's working with your customer.
I've spoken to Adam and I was really impressed from what he told me. He said that by introducing your product, it's reduced the cost per part. They've introduced your products on many machines, and now they're also looking to introduce it on the Star sliding heads where we stood next to. Now, what have you got to do to prove to Parker Precision that this is the right thing to do?
Well, we've got a fantastic relationship already, but they've been quite clear to us that unless we can deliver productivity gains, it's not a given that we're going to be allowed to supply their neat oil. We have to prove our worth. So in the first instance, we've taken some data on their existing coolant. We've looked at their processes. We've filtered that coolant to ensure that we've got less than 2 microns of particles in their oil. And once we've got the data on that, we'll empty the machines out, we'll put our coolant in, we'll fit some inline filtration, and we'll do the same process over and over again, and we'll tweak the feeds and speeds, we'll look at the cut depth, we'll look at the tooling, and we're trying to see if we can make them more efficient. But it's not just one thing or the other, it's about the whole package.
So it's a complete solution, and you mentioned filtration. Coolant is not the only product that ETL Fluid Experts offer. Can you just give us an insight to the other products that you offer?
Of course, yeah, thanks, Gio. We've got 7 years of experience importing Motorex into the UK, but for 30 years prior to that, CarDev products designed for coolant handling, coolant mixing, distribution around networks. We do filtration for neat oils, hydraulic oils, and effectively prolonging the life of your coolant. We effectively try and extend the life of your coolant and reduce your cost.
Thanks, Matt. So there you have it, ETL Fluid Experts. How much money can they save you?